Chapter 2. Reflection of Memories. I walk quietly home in the rain, not caring whether I catch a cold or something. So what does it matter at all when you're broken inside and out? I'm all alone. No one to talk to, no one to comfort me. As I thought this, my head was bowed low, shadowing my brown empty-like eyes by my damp white locks of white hair. I don't have much to gain, or lose anything in my life. I already lost my mother, my sister, and my father who never comes to see me anymore. I even lost a certain person that used to be around me. Aura. Ever since my mother and Monty died, he became part of my life. Now that he's gone, I feel a certain part of me disappear, fading. Sure, he was cruel and used me like a slave. Yes, he may hurt me. Yes, he may have abused me at times when he's angry. Yes, he might not have loved me either, but the truth is, I didn't care. I know that deep down he was once like me, used to have a family, used to be an innocent good person. Sure, Yugi and his friends may think he's evil, but that doesn't mean he was once that way, and he was a child. Maybe they just don't understand him like I do. Yes, that could probably be it. They always listen to the fairest good point of view, and believe that everything he says is true. Everyone would believe in people who could fight against evil. But what does it matter who's good and who's evil? Everyone can be both good and evil sometimes for some reason. It's not like there's any difference in people not being labeled than they are. We're all people that make a mistake and have different beliefs. I stopped on my tracks to finding myself standing in front of my room. I stared at the door for a few seconds, completely lost at how I got here so fast. It's probably that while I was in my train of clouded thoughts, it must have driven me off too far. Carefully, I slowly brought one of my hands to touch the smooth gold doorknob, but I didn't bring myself to turn the knob. It's not like I didn't want it to, but because once I enter this room, I know that from now on, I have the apartment to myself. I closed my eyes, bringing my forehead against the white painted surface of my door. I quietly listened to the dripping drops of water from my soap-wet locks falling onto the wooden floor. A moment more of silence, I sighed and entered my apartment, closing the door softly behind me. It's empty here, just like my heart. This apartment used to be full of life, and other times suffering. It was full of life when my family used to visit me for the holidays. There used to be laughter in the atmosphere when my mother and Amani were still alive back then. It was back then my father used to spend so much time with us before they passed away. In this exact place we used to sing, dance, and have fun just like every other family is supposed to be. But when Amani and my mother passed away in a car accident while they were on their way home, things weren't the same anymore. I can tell you it tore my father's heart when he heard the tragic news about my mother and my sister. I roughly removed my shoes, loosening the laces and placing them aside, and then removed my blue coat, absentmindedly throwing it upon my sofa. After searching to find my slippers, I headed toward my bedroom. Approaching my study desk, I crouched down, opening the drawer before. Inside this drawer are my letters written for Amani. You see, I wrote these letters to her, hoping to send one of these to her in heaven. Why am I doing this is that, well, I don't know if I can explain it, but I don't know. Yes, I admit that's silly and illogical that I went to a deceased sister. And yet, well, I guess the reason of doing this is because I wanted to at least feel a sort of hope. I know that even though I can't send these letters to someone I cared about and no longer living in this world, I just wanted to write her these letters. Writing them makes me feel at least a sign of comfort inside. Every day I wrote each and every letter, and I still cared about her, think of her, and missed her with lots of love. Each and every letter I wrote means so much to me that I couldn't possibly let them all go into the rubbish bin. Sighing, I carefully picked out one of the letters that was stacked neatly on top. If memory serves me right, this letter to Amani was written yesterday early in the morning. I removed the ribbon with a slight tug, and the folds revealed my familiar handwriting. I quietly sat myself down, leaning against the wooden chair. I immediately felt a smile curl up my lips as I began to read the paper. November 17, 2006. My dearest Amani, it has been a long time since I last wrote to you. Well, there's so much to explain to you of what happened to me ever since you left. I miss you and Mother ever so much. How are you anyway? Did you miss me too? Oh, if only I can see you both again. It just hasn't been the same anymore, and I feel quite lonely by myself in my apartment. Father hasn't come back from his travels excavating, I'm starting to feel that something is wrong. Forgive me for writing this, but could there be a possibility that Father doesn't care for me like he used to? Oh, I knew I shouldn't say such silly things. Please forgive me about mentioning Father like this. I only just wish you could please tell me this can't be true. Please tell me that Father still loves me. I really need to know. I'm starting to feel lost and abandoned here. I even lost a certain friend that's probably somewhere where you could be. If you could find him, tell him I deeply care about him equally to you and Mother, even though he's no longer around. Lots of love, your brother, Ryu. I touched the spot where I'd drawn a heart next to my name. I always place one after a signature in my letter. They remind me how my sister used to sketch hearts upon each of her drawings. I resealed the letter to Monty, stacking it back on top of my previous letters. I pushed the drawer closed, combing my wet locks through my fingers. I forgot how wet my hair is from rocking in the rain. Well, at least the pouring rain. I got up from my seat. Perhaps maybe a quick warm shower could remove these negative thoughts burning inside me. I sighed as I grabbed Great. A folded clean white towel from my laundry basket. I bit my lip and noticed a blood stain on it. This is the exact same towel I used to mend my wound at the Battle City tournament. Battle City. That day wasn't perfect. It wasn't pleasant. Not very pleasant at all. I threw my towel aside, my body suddenly trembling at the memory. Maybe having a shower is not what I needed either.